Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're hopping back into the cockpit of our favorite BattleMechs as we return to the world of modded MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. There's been a ton of support for the pair of MechWarrior videos that were posted on the channel recently, much more than I anticipated honestly, and I cannot thank you guys enough because without you, this channel wouldn't exist. So thank you. But with that out of the way, I wanted to do something a bit different with today's video. Instead of going through what's been going on in my career mode playthrough, which is going well by the way, I thought it might be fun to do a sort of a challenge video. Maybe that's not the right wording, call it whatever you want, but today we're playing UrbanMechs. And not just any UrbanMechs, we're going to be leading a lance comprised of 4 of the hero variant, the Street Cleaner or UMSC, to see just how far they can carry us, while hopefully having a little bit of fun in the MechLab trying to come up with a build. Which my building knowledge is probably nowhere near that of some of you watching this video. I'm sure I'm going to make some mistakes, but I'm hoping I can throw something together that will at least allow us to clear a 400-ton mission or two. Of course, we're going to be playing the game modded today, and you can find a list of said mods in the video description down below. Let's get started. First, a little background. The UrbanMech, or Urby as it's sometimes called, is a 30-ton light battle mech that, as its name suggests, was designed for urban combat. It sports a cheap, mass-produced chassis that puts an emphasis on armor above all else, with levels of protection rivaling that of some media mechs. If you played MechWarrior, you'll probably be familiar with just how damn tanky these things can be. I'm always surprised at just how much damage this little trash can soak up at times. But of course, this comes with a trade-off. In its standard configuration, the UrbanMech is slow, and I mean really slow. With a top speed of only 32 kilometers per hour, it's actually the slowest light mech in existence. That's part of the reason why it was relegated to urban combat only. In the close and confined quarters of a city, its greatest weakness was hard to exploit, and its other feature, the ability to rotate a full 360 degrees, could be taken advantage of. Now, if we're gonna have any hope of surviving in this thing against enemy assault mechs, that speed issue has got to be resolved. Frankly, anything below 65 kilometers an hour just feels awful to me. Normally, if you're in a mech going that slow, it's probably because you're a heavy-ass assault mech, but at least then you have the armor and firepower to compensate. And maybe you even have a supercharger for some quick bursts of speed every now and then. But here, I really struggled, at least initially, to bring the speed up to acceptable levels. Due to weight limitations, I just couldn't make room for a supercharger, so naturally aspirated speed was the way we were gonna go. Our first version of the build featured an Engine Core 115 paired alongside an XXL engine upgrade, which, if you aren't familiar with how this particular upgrade or other similar ones like Structure Endo work, these allow you to sacrifice available slots on your mech in order to gain some pretty incredible weight saving bonuses like cutting your engine tonnage in half. They seemed absolutely essential for making something like this work. The improved engine core boosts our speed up to a fairly respectable 65 kilometers an hour. Not fast by any means, but not incredibly slow either. For armament, we're going to start off by rocking 3 large lasers, which deal decent damage, and more importantly, will hopefully let us snipe some cockpits. The build is rounded out with a Royal DHS kit for improved cooling, some heat sinks, a mobility gyro, some improved sensors, and an energy rifle FCS for just a bit more damage. We were also able to squeeze in an AMS, or anti-missile system, and some ammo for it, which, if you aren't familiar, these are essentially the Phalanx anti-missile defense system that you see deployed on some Navy ships that allow missiles to be intercepted, which will definitely come in handy. But with all that said, it was time to put this to the test. For the first outing, we chose a very, perhaps too much so, low-level defense mission. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it, but this was an absolute cakewalk, and while we did encounter some enemy mechs, even including a catapult, they were absolutely no match. This was an easy mission success. Up next was a 24 difficulty battleground mission. I was hoping this could push us a bit further, but really it was more of the same. With allies alongside us, we barely took any damage at all, and aside from stupidly overheating myself a couple times, which is a trend you'll probably see in the future, it was another walk in the park. Next up, another battleground. Besides encountering a charger, this was another no contest. Easy C-bills here. These Urbies were proving to be damn deadly, and at this point, I decided we needed a significant bump in mission difficulty to offer any sort of challenge. So I decided to try an 81 difficulty resource exploration mission, which you would normally deploy with up to 400 tons of BattleMechs in. If you've only played vanilla or haven't tried the Coyote missions pack mod, here's a quick breakdown of the mission type. Your primary goal is to move to certain nav points, clear out any enemies at them, and then capture them, which doing so can give you some pretty good rewards. C-bills, high-tier weapons, ammo. I've even received entire BattleMechs from them. The caveat is that the missions can be quite difficult though, because in addition to capturing these points, you also have to make sure that your Leopard, or the dropship you ride in on, doesn't get captured itself. There's sort of a fine balance that you have to find between pushing across the map, making your way towards points, and also sometimes heading back to your Leopard to clear out enemies. It's not completely defenseless, but it can and will get quickly overwhelmed if there's a decent sized enemy force, which definitely does happen sometimes. Your Leopard also serves as your extraction point on these missions too, so at any time you can walk up to it and extract. Alright, so we land on this planet, which resembles a sort of post-apocalyptic urban hellscape, and start making our way towards the first point. I'm a little nervous here because these missions really can be quite challenging. We'll certainly encounter some heavy BattleMechs or other heavy resistance. The first thing we encounter is a cicada, which promptly gets melted, but not long after, I spot a swarm of VTOLs. Now, thankfully, this is a relatively small group, because let me tell you, you should never underestimate what these things are capable of in numbers, especially if you have to engage both them and enemy BattleMechs or tanks simultaneously. Things can quickly get out of hand. As it turns out, this particular group was making its way towards our Leopard, so we head back that way and engage them, plus the other enemies that show up that were a part of this little assault force. Enemies like this were exactly what I was looking to put these UrbanMechs up against, and lo and behold, we end up dealing with them with relatively low difficulty. We start making our way towards Alpha, and upon arrival run into an Archer, as well as an Atlas that's a must-kill target since it'll signal for reinforcements. We take it down and scan the nav point, but that front right leg isn't looking so good at this point. We're actually starting to accumulate a decent chunk of damage here. Next up is nav point Beta. We start making our way there, and even encounter an UrbanMech brethren along the way. The point is hardly defended, and we're able to capture it with ease. We run into a charger shortly after though, which even though we are able to deal with it, we take another nice chunk of damage. At this point, I'm ready to book it to the Leopard and get the hell off this rock. But while en route back, we encounter another group of VTOLs that's also heading that same way, and the Leopard is starting to get captured. We deal with the enemy aircraft as best as we can and start pushing towards the ship, and when we come within visual range, the problem is very apparent. A pretty healthy little assault force comprised of multiple BattleMechs and heavy tanks has made shop right around our extraction point. Now normally, I wouldn't be super concerned about a group like this, but with the way our armor was looking currently, yeah, I was a little worried and I made a huge mistake. I hesitated on the decision between just booking it straight for the ship or attempting to stand off at range and engage these guys. Our first UrbanMech loss. I was so close to extracting too, but I just wasn't quite able to limp my way there. I'm forced to hop over and control a teammate in order to get out of there. Now this mission made me think. Maybe I was a little too greedy fitting the 3 large lasers. Maybe our Urban Lance would be better suited with a different armament and a bit more armor, and maybe more speed if we could swing it. So this is what I cooked up. A bit less damage and a nice bump in defense thanks to hardened armor, and a significant bump in speed from upping the engine core from a size 115 to 200, which netted us a top speed of 113 kilometers per hour. That's up from a top speed of just 65 before. We were going to be trying out plasma rifles on this build iteration, which I was excited to try since I'd never used them before. Our first test for this setup would be an 8v8 duel, which I figured would be pretty good and straightforward, as duels are normally one of my favorite mission types. My first observation once we landed was that this thing is fast. It had been a long time since I piloted anything with this sort of speed, and if I could learn to take advantage of that, it could surely lead to taking less damage overall. The second thing that became very apparent was that my damage output was significantly lower than before. Obviously that was going to be the case, and the plasma rifles do offer the utility of adding heat damage, which can cause enemy mechs to shut down, which is helpful. However, the lower overall damage, and most importantly, the lack of precision, which made cockpit snipes much less frequent, made me feel like this weapon setup was overall much weaker than I thought it was going to be. The extra armor certainly came in handy though, as we take a decent chunk of damage here. We're still able to complete the duel without any losses, but I certainly don't want to go back to our base armor loadout. If anything, I'd like to find a way to add even more armor, which is exactly what we do. I present to you version 3 of our Urban Lance loadout. We're back on the large lasers, which eliminates the need to waste tonnage on ammo and also allows us to further stack up the armor. We're up to a whopping 496 now. That's up from the 280 we were at with our initial loadout, so not quite double, but a huge increase nonetheless. Being back on lasers also meant that our ability to cockpit snipe should return, even if we won't be able to do it quite as easily as we were able to do when we had 3 of them equipped. For the final stretch of the video, we're going to switch over to live narration so you guys can see what the full final sorties in the UrbanMech were like with this new loadout. Before we get to that though, I'm excited to announce a brand new partnership with Apex Gaming PCs. With custom built PCs available in different configurations at various price points, they're sure to have an option for any gamer out there, especially when you factor in their affordable and flexible financing options. Whether you're on a budget and opting for the entry grade Apex Bronze, or looking to dominate your competition with the Streamer Plus, you can rest easy knowing that your investment is protected by the Apex standard 2-year parts and lifetime labor warranty. For a limited time, you can use my 5% discount code JARBO at checkout when purchasing. See link in the video description below, and a big thank you to Apex Gaming PCs. Alright, back to the video. I think we're going to give this assassination contract a go. It's an 89 difficulty mission. And let's see what we can do. Look at that little squad of urban mechs. Such a beautiful sight. Okay, let's see here. Locate and kill all targets. Got a decent amount of speed here. We're not running a supercharger, so we can't get any bursts of speed. We're kind of limited by the weight capacity of this mech, but at 113 kph, not too shabby. So we're not going to have quite as much punch as we did earlier with the 3 large lasers, but between the 4 of us we have 8 large lasers, so that should be enough to do some decent damage.
Target is down. Target acquired.
This is a 400-ton mission, so I would normally be bringing in some assault mechs here. Let's see how we do once we come up against some real opposition.
I'm not seeing our targets at this location. Make way to the next nav point. We might have more luck there. Target destroyed.
Got a Panther. Should be an easy headshot, hopefully. Hear that AMS working. I don't know if I killed him by running into him. I know that is a thing. Not used to aiming at these high speeds. I haven't been in a mech this fast in quite a while. Oh, there's a target there. And I have our lance mates focus them down. I'm gonna take this out here. The AI definitely leaves something to be desired. Seems like they have trouble navigating terrain at times and just, they don't really utilize the strength of their own mechs. Alright, that went really well. I have considered trying out the AI mod, but I just don't know if it'll cause any conflicts, but I'm thinking maybe for our next video we are going to give that a shot.
Drop them before their friends show up.
Gotta be real careful not to overheat here. Might pull our lance mates back. Alright, let's focus this down. Oh, there's a target. Would prefer to take out everything else that's around there. Will say I do not like not being able to alpha down the turrets in one go.
Focusing our fire on target.
The 360-degree turret rotation is certainly nice.
Targeting
Trying to wait till I get a headshot here. Oh, we nuked that guy.
Kill confirmed. We've gotten all of them, Commander. Good job. Now let's pack it in before their friends arrive.
Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Oh shit. Whew. Alright, well, we made it through that relatively unscathed. And scoop that up. Let's go ahead and repair our UrbanMech boys real quick. And see what we can find next. Got an objective raid. Which thankfully on this playthrough, I was careful to not take contracts against independents. That way, no matter where I am, at least I can have, you know, some faction that I have a decent reputation with. And let's see if we can knock this out.
Enemy forces have a series
All right,
of
boys, let's do
warehouses
this.
in the area that our employer wants destroyed. Move to the marked nav points and take them out. There is a high amount of hostile activity in the area, Commander, so don't stick around any longer than you have to.
God, I'm telling you, after playing the assault mechs, moving at this speed, even though it isn't really that crazy, it feels so fast.
Take it out.
Lance target received.
Oh shit.
Target is down.
Target acquired.
We're taking them down pretty quick.
Target acquired.
Target eliminated.
Heat critical.
Definitely be nice to throw in a little bit extra cooling capacity here. Thing does overheat pretty quickly.
Enemy destroyed.
Target.
Lance target engaged.
Heat critical. System.
Ah, motherfucker. That's not good. Oh, that's not good. Come on. Come on, UrbanMech. Fenrir's getting torn up over there.
Nav point received. Let's move. Nav point reached. Point.
There we go.
Down with a head.
Alright, let's clean up these turrets.
New target. Vindicator. Incoming missile.
Tango down.
Destroy.
Right on cue. VTOL on approach.
Target acquired.
And I swear to God, VTOL is my least favorite enemy in the game, especially swarms of them.
Tango eliminated.
Target destroyed. Heat critical. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Destroyed.
Target acquired.
Focusing our fire on target.
Target destroyed.
Alright, let's take care of the objective here. Can I run through these in the UrbanMech? Nope.
Objective down.
Commander to all units. Unidentified BattleMechs on the field.
Nice cockpit shot there. AMS putting in some work.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Focus target updated.
Well, besides the beginning of this mission, things were actually going pretty smooth. I know Fenrir took some damage here, but could have been a lot worse. Ooh, I say that as a PPC flies by my face.
Incoming missile. Target destroyed.
Yeah, he could be a problem. to line up the cockpit shot. Nice.
Destroyed. Target.
Enemy destroyed.
Critical. Target destroyed.
Target down. That's the last of the targets.
All right, not bad.
Now get back here before hostiles converge on your position.
Not the cleanest mission. Gonna definitely have a bit of a repair bill here, but not too shabby. Very nice. Finished up that job there. And oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I didn't even put upgrades on these mechs. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, let's let repairs finish. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to do that. Okay. Let's head to an industrial zone. Okay, let's repair, and then we'll throw some upgrades on. I can't believe I didn't realize that. Okay, let's go energy cooldown time, energy range and velocity, weapon damage, heat capacity, turn speed. That should be enough. And we're gonna do this on all 4 of them. Alright, so now that we actually have our mechs upgraded, that should make a decent difference. I know 5% here and there doesn't seem like a lot, but when it comes to MechWarrior, it definitely does. So let's go grab, let's see here. Actually, we'll grab this attack and defend contract. From my previous experience, these can be a little spicy, so let's see what we get here. And this is probably going to be the last mission we do in this video. Definitely let me know if you'd like to see me do any other sort of challenges like this. I realized I probably made this one a bit too easy by using the hero UrbanMech. I honestly thought there was going to be a bit more of a challenge. I mean, obviously I'm not running the absolute highest level difficulty missions in the game, but yeah, I would definitely be interested in doing some more challenges. I know I've been thinking about doing like a machine gun build. Not sure what the best mech for doing something like that would be, but I've really enjoyed using machine guns as secondary weapons on some of my mechs, and they kind of do a surprisingly high amount of damage. Yes, they're short range, but you know, maybe, I'm sure on something like a flamer, they could be particularly deadly. But yeah, I might give something like that a go, so let me know if you have any ideas down below, or just in general, if there are any, you know, yet another MechLab builds that you would recommend trying.
Enemy mech destroyed.
We're gonna make our way to the enemy base over here. Which the last time I ran one of these missions, I was in a much slower mech, so crossing this distance should be a bit more bearable. I'm hoping they're not sending mechs along the east side of the map, otherwise I'm going to have to circle all the way back around to our base. Would be fantastic if our allies could keep up with us.
Target acquired.
I think we can maybe sneak up through here. Got a big boy over that way.
Target acquired.
Can definitely notice the uptick in damage output from those upgrades, that's for sure. That's gonna be a problem.
Coordinating our attack.
God damn. PPC's lighting my ass up. Oh my god. Okay, this might not.
Target eliminated.
This might not go well. We need to fall
Moving
back.
into position.
Target acquired.
Need to take things slow here.
Heat critical. Target
Fall back.
Holding at that point.
I don't know, man. I'm surprised we didn't take more damage than we did. That was pretty scary.
On location, Commander.
Heat critical.
Focusing our fire on target.
System offline.
Lovely. Gotta get better about watching for that.
Group target received.
Critical.
Taking some damage.
Target destroyed.
At least we got our allies here. Let's take this guy out since he's isolated.
Critical. System offline.
Pretty sure we pilot sniped him with that last shot before we overheated.
Mayday! Component lost! Needs defensive support!
Yeah, we might need to actually...
Target destroyed.
Oh my god, there's so many of them.
Focus target updated.
Oh my god, a king crab.
Jumpship launch detected.
Critical.
Take down the crab. It may look invincible, but it certainly is not.
Target destroyed.
Things are rapidly going south here.
Target acquired. Critical.
Target received. Engaging. I can't believe I made it. I can't believe I made it.
Well, Reaver ejected.
I made it.
Critical.
Nice headshot there.
Target destroyed.
Shifting to your target, Commander. Focusing our fire on target.
If that was all the mechs they have, we might actually clear this. I see something up there. I can't tell what it is yet.
Critical.
Come on, take that thing out. There we go.
Target Atlas. Keep critical.
Coordinate fire on the commander's target.
I still see lasers coming off our allies, so they've still got their arms. But do not run up there, you idiots.
Commander, let's move.
Keep critical.
Heavy hit. Lost component.
Target destroyed. New target captured.
Wilco, focusing fire.
Trying to draw some of their fire.
System offline.
This is gonna be really close.
Incoming missile.
Oh, we are getting nailed from something back here. Alright, let's take this out. There we go.
Target destroyed.
Target identified.
Keep critical.
I don't see any other mechs.
Target destroyed.
Target received. Engaging.
Mech taking shadow time. Take them out for me.
I don't think an UrbanMech running over a partisan should do that, but alright. I think there's actually a setting in yet another Mechlab that makes it so you can't kill tanks like that.
Lance target received. Tango down.
Critical.
Take that thing out, come on.
Target is down.
I shouldn't have done a coolant flush earlier. It's making things cool off painfully slow.
Critical. Target up.
I think if we take out that last firestorm turret, we'll be
Acquired.
pretty much in the clear.
Critical.
I think we're within his minimum range, so we should be safe here.
Group target acknowledged.
Alright, let's start destroying their base.
System offline.
Alright, I believe we can wrap their base up. We should be in the clear. I like how slow my mech is cooling down. I definitely cannot afford to do coolant flushes when things are already so bad with cooling. But hey, I think we're gonna complete this. Just utilizing my mech's body. Take out these apartment buildings here.
Splash target.
Alright, 22%. Just committing some more crimes, nothing to see here.
Primary objective. Destroy
We did it.
Corvette
I can't believe we did it. That was definitely a little bit stressful. That was the most stressful mission we've done so far. That was a lot of heavy mechs, turrets, etc. But we did it in the UrbanMech, although we might have reached just about the limit for what this thing's capable of. Although my customization and building skills, I am still very new to the game, so maybe there's something that I could do to make these that much more effective. And look at that, rank 11. So yeah, let me know down below if you guys want to see more challenge videos like this in the future. Let me know what I could have done to build my UrbanMechs better. I'm sure there are many things that I missed. I'm still very new to this whole thing, and the customization options in Yet Another Mechlab are absolutely insane. There's so much. There's still new weapon types and equipment that I haven't even seen, let alone used yet. So yeah, definitely let me know. And as always, thank you guys for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. You guys have really given me a bunch of support over the past couple of years since I've been doing YouTube. So I really do appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.